Hello and welcome to the third episode of my Forensic Friday series, a series on this channel where I talk through different aspects of forensic science and crime scene investigation. Today I'm going to be talking about the documents needed when investigating a crime scene. So when a crime scene is first entered, there are 4 ways that it needs to be documented in order to create a permanent record of the investigation that goes on. The 4 ways are crime scene notes, a sketch, photography and videography. Today I'm only going to be talking about the notes and the sketch, as I want to dedicate a whole video to the photography and videography. Crime scene notes or contemporaneous notes are really important because they, like I said, create a permanent record of that investigation that goes on at a crime scene. These notes also create a sense of required accountability. So the notes contain a step-by-step of what each investigator did and how they went about the crime scene, so it minimises the chance of evidence contamination. There's also really incredible technology that's currently being developed and starting to be used where the dimensions used in the notes and the photos and videos taken are then being turned into VR images that the jury can then put on a headset and walk around the crime scene, which is incredible to me. Also, you might have seen in films and TV programs that some investigators walk around with like a voice recorder and they talk into it and it's very dramatic. You can actually do that, but obviously a copy needs to be made of the audio and then it needs to be typed up so it's kind of in a narrative format so that documentation can be used in court. Just got this image of like Annalise Keating talking into her voice recorder. So the first of the 2 types of documentation I'm going to talk about is the notes. This year at university we've done a lot of work doing the scene of crime notes and the report, and one of the most significant things that we've learned is just how accurate these notes need to be. I've kind of created a mock-up of what a crime scene note would look like before you wrote in it. So here's one I made earlier. Okay, so the crime scene notes kind of need to contain all of the law information, location of the offence, address, that kind of thing, but it also needs to contain things like the weather, because whether or not it was raining on that day or whether it was sunny is actually really important with further investigations. It's mostly just boxes that need filling in, but then there's 2 boxes on like the simple version of the crime scene notes which need to have a more detailed description in them, and those 2 boxes are the MO box and the scene description box. So the Modus Operandi box is one that took me a while to get my head round because it's slightly complicated what you put in that compared to what you put in the scene description box. So in this we put the P of E and the egress, so where we believe the suspect entered a room, for example, and then exited it. It's also where we put, for example, with a burglary, whether it was like a ransacked bedroom or whether it was quite a tidy search. This is also the box that you would put whether there was like a visible sign of entry. So for example, if a lock on a door's been broken or whether there's a smashed window that somebody could have climbed through. So MO stands for modus operandi. So modus operandi basically means kind of like what happened in the course of a crime. So the other box that needs some kind of description in it is the scene description box. Now this box is dedicated to, for example, a house description, so whether the house is an attached 4-bedroom house or whether it's a flat on the 3rd floor, for example, what kind of entry it is, whether it's locked doors or a key code in apartments, and then a description of the room as it suggests a scene description. The notes are contemporaneous, so they need to be carried out as the investigator goes along, so as they go into a room, as they go into a house, as they talk to the person who owns the house. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was the crime scene sketch. So it is apparent that the use of crime scene sketches has reduced as technology has advanced, but crime scene sketches do a much better job of actually representing dimensions of a room, because when you draw a crime scene sketch you actually have to measure each wall and each piece of furniture so that you can triangulate things within the sketch. All of the sketches and notes are carried out in pen, so they can't be rubbed out and changed or corrupted in any way. Now, crime scene sketch might be my least favourite thing to do within scene investigation, just because they are so difficult to get right. So that is 2 methods of documentation that you used at a crime scene. Like I said, in the next episode I will talk about photography and videography used in a crime scene. I thought that deserved its own video in itself. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the rest of Forensic Friday. I'll put a link in the description of the playlist of the other episodes, but thank you for watching and I will see you next time.